Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a story of resilience, strength, and discovery. It's a story about a woman who feels alone, someone who looks around and realizes she has no friends to lean on. While the world seems to buzz with connections and laughter, she feels the silence of solitude. But here's the truth, being alone is not the end, it's often the beginning. To the woman who feels this way, know this: you are not defined by who surrounds you, but by the fire that burns within. Right now you have an opportunity, a rare gift, to become your own best friend. This is the season for self-discovery, for exploring your passions, for building the confidence that no one can take away from you. Yes, it can hurt to feel disconnected, but loneliness can teach you something extraordinary: how to be comfortable in your own company. Use this time to nurture yourself, to chase dreams you may have put aside. Whether it's picking up a hobby, learning something new, or rediscovering the things that light up your soul, this chapter is yours to write. And remember this: friends will come. Real meaningful friendships don't come from seeking, they come when you're living authentically and unapologetically as yourself. The stronger you become, the more you'll attract the right people into your life. So walk boldly through this season of solitude. Use it as a time to grow, to love yourself, and to build the foundation for the incredible relationships that lie ahead. You are enough, you are worthy, and you are more resilient than you realize. The best is yet to come. Keep going and let your light shine. Finding strength in solitude. To the woman who feels like she has no friends, let me say this first: I see you. I see the moments of loneliness that creep in, the questions you ask yourself late at night, and the longing you feel for connection. It's not easy, and I won't pretend that it is. But I will tell you this chapter of your life is not the whole story. It is a stepping stone towards something greater, something beautiful. Sometimes life brings us to seasons of solitude not as a punishment, but as an invitation. An invitation to explore who we are, to embrace our uniqueness, and to discover that our worth is not tied to others' presence in our lives. This is your time to nurture the relationship that matters most, the one you have with yourself. In a world that often tells women they need to be everything to everyone, imagine the power of stepping back and saying, I will be everything to me first. This isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you cultivate self-love, self-respect, and self-awareness, you begin to radiate a kind of strength and confidence that draws the right people into your life. And trust me, the right people are worth waiting for. Now, let's talk about action. What can you do in this season of solitude? First, focus on growth. Take up that hobby you've always been curious about. Learn a new skill, start journaling. Or volunteer for a cause you're passionate about. Not only will these activities bring fulfillment, but they'll also open doors to meeting people who share your interests. Second, redefine what connection means. Friendships don't always have to come in the form of large social circles. Sometimes a single deep connection is more powerful than a room full of acquaintances. Keep your heart open to unexpected opportunities, whether it's a kind stranger, a coworker, or someone you meet online who shares your passions. Third, practice gratitude. It may sound simple, but it's transformative. Even in solitude, there are blessings to be found. The peace of a quiet morning, the joy of pursuing something you love, the freedom to choose your own path. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, and that shift is empowering. Finally, remember that this is not forever. Life is always changing, always evolving. The connections you long for are waiting for you in the future. But for now, trust that this time alone is shaping you into someone who will cherish those connections when they come. You are growing stronger, wiser, and more self-assured every single day. You are not defined by your current circumstances. You are a woman of incredible strength. And this season of solitude is preparing you for a life filled with meaning, purpose, and love. Walk through it with your head high and your heart open, knowing that you are enough just as you are. The world may feel quiet now, but trust me, it will soon echo with the laughter, love, and connections that are destined to find you. Keep believing, keep growing, keep shining. The best is still ahead. Finding power in solitude, a journey to self-discovery and connection. To the woman who feels like she has no friends, your current reality, though difficult, does not define your worth or your future. Loneliness, while painful, can also be one of life's most transformative experiences. It's a time that can help you grow, rediscover your value, and build the foundation for the meaningful relationships that will come into your life when you're ready. The theory of solitude and growth psychologists and philosophers have long discussed the transformative potential of solitude. Carl Jung believes solitude is a time when we can listen to ourselves away from societal pressures. Viktor Frankl A Holocaust survivor and psychologist, posited in his theory of logotherapy that meaning can be found even in suffering. By reframing solitude as a moment for personal growth, you can take steps to build a deeper understanding of who you are and what you truly need. Additionally, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs reminds us that belonging and connection are critical to human happiness. But before we can reach those stages, we must first establish a strong sense of self-esteem and self-actualization. Solitude offers the opportunity to focus on these foundational aspects of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-love. Examples of strength found in solitude. Let's look at some real-world examples of people who thrive despite periods of isolation. 1. Maya Angelou. As a young girl, Maya Angelou faced traumatic events that left her feeling isolated and voiceless. Yet, in her solitude, she turned to reading and writing, nurturing a deep understanding of herself and the world. This period of isolation gave birth to one of the most powerful literary voices of our time. 2. J.K. Rowling, before becoming a world-renowned author, Rowling faced rejection, poverty, and loneliness as a single mother. She channeled her struggles into her creativity, crafting the magical world of Harry Potter. Her time alone wasn't wasted, it became the foundation for a global legacy. 3. Your own potential story. Think of the moments in your life when you've overcome challenges on your own. Maybe you aced an exam by studying in silence, navigated a difficult decision without guidance, or even found peace in quiet reflection. These moments prove that your strength exists, even in solitude. Practical steps to embrace solitude and build connections. 1. Create a routine for growth. Structure your day to focus on activities that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. For example, start your morning with meditation or journaling, spend an hour learning a new skill, and dedicate time to physical activity like yoga or walking. These habits not only build self-esteem, but also create opportunities for organic connections when you're ready to share these activities with others. 2. Pursue interests that attract like-minded people. Imagine you've always loved art. Joining a painting class, even virtually, introduces you to others who share the same passion. For example, a woman named Sarah joined a pottery workshop after years of feeling alone. She not only found a creative outlet, but also met a group of supportive women who became lifelong friends. 3. Volunteer and give back. Acts of service can be incredibly healing. Volunteering connects you with others who share your desire to make a difference. Consider this. Maria, a woman in her 30s, felt isolated after moving to a new city. She began volunteering at a local animal shelter where she met others who shared her love for animals. Over time, those connections grew into deep friendships. 4. Redefine friendship. Friendships aren't always about large social groups or constant interaction. Sometimes a deep connection with one person is all you need. Focus on quality over quantity. Reach out to acquaintances or family members you trust and explore those relationships further. The opportunity within solitude, this time alone, is not a void, it's fertile ground for something new. It's a chance to uncover your passions, build resilience, and prepare yourself for future connections. Solitude can teach you independence, foster creativity, and help you learn to be comfortable with yourself, a skill that will make your future relationships healthier and more meaningful. So to the woman who feels like she has no friends, this is not a permanent state. It's a chapter, and like all chapters, it will pass. But it's up to you to use this time wisely. Choose to see it not as an emptiness to be filled, but as a canvas waiting for your masterpiece. You have the power to create a life filled with meaning, joy, and connection. Trust in your ability to grow through this time, and know that the friendships waiting for you will be richer because you took this journey to strengthen yourself first. Keep moving forward. Your story is still unfolding, and it's going to be beautiful. Transforming loneliness into empowerment, a deeper dive to the woman who feels like she has no friends. Let me tell you, this moment of isolation is not your defining feature, it's your crucible. Solitude, though painful, is not a sign of failure. It's an opportunity for self-renewal and transformation. Many of the world's greatest minds and strongest spirits have used moments of isolation to uncover their true selves, redefine their paths, and emerge stronger than ever. In this expanded message, let us explore not only how solitude can be your ally, but also how you can take deliberate, meaningful steps to reshape your life using theory, psychology, and real-world examples. The psychological framework, why solitude feels so difficult. Human beings are wired for connection. Neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman notes in his book Social that our brains interpret social rejection and isolation in much the same way they process physical pain. This is why loneliness can feel so overwhelming. It's not just emotional, it's physiological. However, research also shows that solitude is where growth often begins. In his book Quiet, Susan Cain explores how solitude can lead to deep introspection and creativity. When we are alone, we have the chance to reflect without distraction, to hear our inner voice, and to explore our untapped potential. This is where the concept of self-actualization comes into play. Maslow's hierarchy of needs places self-actualization, the realization of your fullest potential, at the top of human development. Solitude, though challenging, provides the fertile ground for this kind of growth. It allows you to build the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. Case studies of resilience in solitude. 1. Virginia Woolf, the renowned author, once wrote, "A woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction." Woolf's advocacy for solitude wasn't just about physical space, it was about emotional and intellectual freedom. She used her solitude to write stories that challenged societal norms and gave a voice to countless women who felt unseen. 2. Malala Yousafzai. After surviving an assassination attempt, Malala found herself isolated, recovering in a foreign country far from her friends and home. Yet in that isolation, she doubled down on her mission to advocate for girls' education. Her solitude became a source of strength, allowing her to reflect on her purpose and amplify her impact globally. 3. Your own story in the making. Perhaps you've had moments in your life where you were alone yet resilient. Think of the time you accomplished something difficult on your own, whether it was navigating a career challenge, overcoming personal grief, or simply learning to enjoy your own company. These moments prove your strength. Practical steps to transform solitude into growth. 1. Cultivate inner strength. Start by reframing solitude as an opportunity rather than a deficit. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you can build. Create a list of things you've always wanted to do but never had time for. Use this moment to pursue them. Example, imagine a woman named Emma. After moving to a new city, she found herself without friends. Instead of letting loneliness consume her, she began exploring her love for photography. She joined local photography groups and started sharing her work online. Not only did she develop a passion, but she also found a community that celebrated her creativity. 2. Take control of your narrative. Stop defining yourself by what you don't have friends and start defining yourself by what you do have potential. Rewrite your internal script. Instead of saying, "I have no friends," say, "I am in a season of self-discovery, preparing myself for the right relationships." Practical tip every day, write down one thing you love about yourself and one thing you're grateful for. This practice will shift your focus toward positivity and self-empowerment. 3. Step into new spaces. Solitude is often a gateway to new environments and experiences. Step out of your comfort zone and into spaces where you can meet like-minded people. Example, consider the story of Rosa, who joined a hiking group after years of feeling disconnected. At first, it was intimidating to show up alone, but over time, she formed deep friendships with people who shared her love for nature. Start small. Attend community workshops, join a book club, or volunteer for a cause you care about. 4. Build a routine of self-care. Use this time to nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Self-care isn't just about pampering, it's about honoring yourself as worthy of love and attention. Daily practice. Start your day with mindfulness meditation or yoga to center yourself. Dedicate time to journaling about your feelings. This can help you process emotions and identify patterns that might be holding you back. 5. Embrace the digital age in today's world. Connections don't have to happen face-to-face. Online communities can be a powerful tool for finding people who share your values and interests. Whether it's through social media forums or virtual meetups or through the internet, offers countless opportunities to connect. Example, a woman named Priya joined an online writing group during the pandemic. What started as a weekly Zoom call turned into a circle of trusted friends who celebrated each other's creativity and supported each other through challenges. The long-term perspective, the friendships you're building without realizing, every step you take now, every hobby you explore, every new space you enter, every moment you spend getting to know yourself is laying the foundation for future friendships. When you live authentically and pursue what you love, you naturally attract people who align with your values. Think of this as planting seeds. The friendships you long for may not bloom overnight, but with time, patience, and care, they will grow. And because you've taken this time to build a strong foundation within yourself, these friendships will be deeper, more meaningful, and more resilient. To the woman who feels she has no friends, you are not alone in your experience, even if it feels that way. Many have walked this path and emerged stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. This time is a gift, even if it doesn't feel like one right now. It's a chance to discover who you truly are and to prepare yourself for the beautiful connections that are waiting for you in the future. Take this time to nurture yourself, to grow and to explore. The relationships you long for will come not because you seek them desperately, but because you've built a life so rich and full that others will naturally be drawn to it. Remember, you are enough just as you are. You are worthy of love, friendship, and joy. The journey ahead will be full of unexpected beauty. Trust yourself to walk it with courage and grace. The best is yet to come. Transforming loneliness into empowerment, embracing solitude, and building a stronger you to the woman who feels she has no friends. Let me start by saying this: you are not alone in feeling alone. Loneliness is an experience many of us go through, yet it often feels so isolating because we believe we're the only ones navigating it. But what if this season of solitude isn't a punishment? What if it's a gift and invitation to discover your strength, nurture your passions, and build the life you truly deserve? This is not the end of your story. It's a critical chapter in your journey, a time of growth and self-discovery that will pave the way for deeper connections and a richer life. Let's explore how you can transform loneliness into empowerment, using psychological theories, real-life examples, and practical strategies to help you thrive. Understanding the roots of loneliness. Loneliness often stems from unmet needs for connection, but it can also be influenced by our self-perception. Studies show that loneliness is less about the absence of people and more about the gap between the relationships we have and the ones we desire. For instance, you may know people or even interact socially, but if these connections lack depth, you may still feel isolated. From an evolutionary perspective, humans are wired for connection because it increases our chances of survival. This is why loneliness feels like such a heavy emotional burden. It signals that we need to reconnect. But here's the empowering truth: reconnection doesn't always have to start externally. It can begin internally with a deeper understanding and appreciation of yourself. Psychological insights on solitude 1. Jungian psychology. Carl Jung believed solitude is essential for self-discovery. He called this process individuation, where we integrate all parts of ourselves, strengths, weaknesses, fears, and desires to become whole. Solitude provides the mental space for this integration to occur. 2. Love Therapy by Viktor Frankl. Frankl's philosophy centers on finding meaning in life, even in suffering. He believed that by focusing on purpose rather than pain, we can transcend our struggles. In loneliness, the question becomes, what can I learn from this experience? How can it shape me into a better, stronger version of myself? 3. Attachment theory. This theory explains how our early relationships shape our ability to connect later in life. If loneliness feels overwhelming, it may stem from unmet emotional needs in the past. But the good news is that we can rewire our patterns by learning to nurture ourselves first, becoming secure in our own company. The gift of solitude, a new perspective. Instead of viewing your solitude as a void, see it as a canvas, empty, yes, but full of potential. This is your chance to design a life that reflects who you truly are. Solitude allows you to discover your interests. Without external influences, you can explore what genuinely excites you. Build self-confidence. Learning to enjoy your own company strengthens your independence and self-worth. Reflect and heal. Time alone gives you the space to process past experiences and let go of what no longer serves you. Example, think of Greta, a woman in her late 20s who moved to a new city for work. Initially, she felt lonely and disconnected. But instead of focusing on her lack of friends, she used her evenings to explore photography, something she'd always loved but never pursued. Over time, her passion grew into a side business, and through photography meetups, she found a community of like-minded individuals. Strategies to transform loneliness into growth. 1. Reconnect with yourself. Loneliness can feel less daunting when you realize that you are never truly alone. You have you. Use this time to rediscover your strengths, values, and dreams. Start journaling. Reflect on what makes you happy, what you're grateful for, and what you'd like to achieve. Practice mindfulness or meditation to build a deeper connection with your intuition. Example, Anna, a single mother, felt isolated after her divorce. She began journaling each night, listing 3 things she was proud of that day. Over time, this practice helped her rebuild her self-esteem and find joy in her own accomplishments. 2. Take action toward new experiences. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Step into spaces that align with your interests and values. Join local groups, whether it's a fitness class, a book club, or a community project. Engaging with like-minded people can lead to meaningful connections. Pursue personal goals. Sign up for courses, learn a language, or develop a skill you've always wanted to master. Example, Emily, who felt isolated after moving abroad, joined a language exchange program. Not only did she improve her Spanish, but she also met friends who shared her curiosity about culture and travel. 3. Serve others. Volunteering shifts your focus from what you lack to what you can give. It connects you with people while bringing purpose and fulfillment. Volunteer at local charities, shelters, or organizations that resonate with your values. Offer your skills to those in need, for example, teaching cooking or mentoring. Example, when Sarah felt disconnected after retirement, she began volunteering at a local animal rescue. Through this, she met others who shared her love for animals and built friendships that reignited her sense of belonging. 4. Redefine friendship. Friendship doesn't always mean having a large group of people around you. Sometimes it's about building deeper relationships with a few individuals or even with yourself. Reach out to acquaintances or coworkers for coffee or casual conversation. Strengthen family bonds by calling or visiting loved ones more often. The long-term vision, building a life of connection. As you grow through this time of solitude, you are laying the foundation for the connections that will come. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you attract people who align with your values. The friendships you create after this journey will be richer, deeper, and more fulfilling because they'll be built on authenticity. Imagine a woman who has spent time nurturing her creativity, exploring her passions, and strengthening her confidence. When she meets others, she doesn't need their validation, she's already whole. This wholeness is magnetic, drawing people who truly appreciate her for who she is. To the woman who feels she has no friends, this chapter of solitude is not the end, it's the beginning. It's a time of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Use it to nurture your passions, build your resilience, and prepare yourself for the beautiful connections waiting in your future. You are not defined by your current circumstances. You are defined by your courage to keep moving forward, to keep growing, and to keep believing in the life you're building. One day you'll look back at this time and realize it wasn't loneliness. It was the start of your greatest transformation. Walk boldly. You are more capable, resilient, and worthy than you realize. The best is yet to come.